if I want to do video again tonight, just because I don't feel like being seen.
Oh, Tara, girl, you're so pretty, though.
I
That's
don't feel
fine.
like being seen. I just don't tonight.
That's fine.
This week is not good for my um
That's fine. Even though you're prettier than hell. Even though you're prettier than hell.
I don't feel it sometimes.
Tara, girl, I saw a video on Instagram of Connor and his new girlfriend,
Yeah.
and he seems a lot more subdued. Legitimately. Like, he
A lot more
seems.
subdued.
Yeah, like, he seems like he's not. Like, he's not doing the voice. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but every now and then on Love on the Spectrum, when he's with his family, he kind of drops, like, the voice that he talks like this. Like, he kind of drops it every now and then. And you kind of hear it. Like, he just talks normally sometimes. Um, and I saw a video with him and his new girlfriend.
What, Connor?
Yeah, Connor.
You mean, oh, I thought your friend Connor or
No, Connor from
the
Love on
other.
the Spectrum.
Ah, I thought you were talking about your friend this whole time. Sorry, yeah.
But, yeah, so.
So he changed, like he's more normal on Instagram.
No, he's. So I feel like it must be some sort of put on that he's doing. Like, like, he's doing that voice, like, almost performatively. Like, I'm not saying he's faking it, but I think that maybe he believes that that's part of his identity, is to speak like this in very Shakespearean style. Right? But, like, so, like, every now and then on the show, though, you'll hear him talking to his family, like his brother, his sister, his mom, and sometimes he just drops the voice altogether. Like, he'll just talk normally. Um,
I think he oscillates.
yeah. But, like, on the video when with his girlfriend, he was like driving the car with her, and yeah, he was just talking normally the whole time. It was strange. It was very strange to hear.
He's talking like a normal person.
Like, he was just talking like this. Like, he was like, "All right, today is September 4th, and for, or May 4th, and we're headed out to the mall." Like, it wasn't like drawn out and speaking like this. Like, he wasn't speaking like that. It was very interesting. Oh, let me stream this to you.
I would have to listen to it myself.
If I can find it again. Ooh, no, I definitely want to show you the old.
Yeah, just like post it or something the next time you find it.
What the hell, your brother's in chat?
What?
He said sex position 69. Dude, if you want to say very crude and awful things like that, why don't you join our call?
What the heck? Chris never joins the stream. Christopher. Am I on your TV right now? Hi,
No,
Macy.
you're not, because I turned your video off, you nut.
Am I on the TV?
I'm on TV. He said got a PC. Oh, congrats, dude. Damn,
Wait, what?
your bro beat you to it.
You got a gaming PC? So you're in the bedroom? You're in that second bedroom then?
Terry, you might notice something about my characters.
AC's old one got fixed.
Let me see if I won't get fixed. Oh, nice. Tara, look at my cool characters.
Wait, you gotta put her in the mime suit too.
She doesn't have one. Let me see. I don't know
Oh,
if I have a word. Oh, maybe she does. Hold on.
put her in the mime.
Nah, she doesn't have one.
Damn it.
Damn. What are you running with, Chris? You got like
What
Okay.
are your specs?
I'm not gonna ask you for the specific specs, but like, is it good? Is it mid? I don't want to say mid, but is it mid? A 970. It's all right.
970 what?
I think it's just a 970. That's an old. It's an old graphics card.
Oh.
Sorry. I think this fan is blowing.
Vichy Swaz.
Thank you. Thanks for paying your dues today.
Oh god.
Oh, look how good I am at doing that out there. Okay, so those were like weak enemies.
What's your first game on the gaming PC?
Yeah, what are you gonna play on that, dude? That should
Have
be
you
good for
played
playing
this
older
game?
games. This would not run on that computer, unfortunately. The 970 is too old to be running this game. But he can play probably games up till like 2016, 2017. So on like lower. I think my first gaming PC was like a 1070 Ti. So do I bother? I'll fight this. Why not?
You can take that guy.
Yeah, I can take this guy.
Chris, did you work today? You work tomorrow? When's your next day off?
He hasn't said nothing. Damn.
Vichy Swaz is one word too.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. La, la, la. I just thought that was something interesting to note to Vichy Swaz. It does sound like it would be too though, right?
Yeah, I thought that. My weapon has been upgraded.
So are we leaving the ocean area?
Yes, we are. We're moving to a new area. The something village.
I feel like Chris would like this game because it's got like obviously artistic elements to it.
Yeah. Wait, did you
It's
say
creative.
artistic or autistic?
Let's be honest, probably both.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Both. It's both.
It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. TBH, my computer's struggling to run this game, so I'm running this at kind of lower settings. Like, I'm sure this game looks amazing with a better graphics card. That's the unfortunate thing. And what's even more unfortunate is even higher level graphics cards are so fucking expensive right now.
Like how much? Like you could replace your graphic card with another graphic card that's higher and it would be fine.
Yeah.
I'm just wanting to make sure he's laughing.
I'm laughing because the way you use a graphic card.
What? Because what?
You're like graphic card. It's graphics card. It's funny. I don't know. It just made me laugh. Yes, I could. There's a bunch of compatibility things. It's the most. Oh, I'll let the cutscene play out.
That's a lot of
It's never
IPs
simple,
to
is it?
search. They must have some sort of track or trail.
No,
leading to the
unfortunately not.
village.
Wait, I hear something.
He looks so fucking.
Be careful.
He's so funny with the glasses and the mime suit.
I know. That's what I unlocked by
I
beating
love
the
that.
other
I'm glad you gave him those glasses too. He's a cool mime.
It's it goes together. Like the glasses aren't a separate. It's part of the mime piece.
Did the sash also come with the mime suit?
Yes.
The sash and the baguette? Oh my god.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So
And the beret.
and the beret. So yeah, with graphics cards, you have to like. There's compatibility things. You need a graphics card that fits into your whole tower, which is what everything sits in. You need the right motherboard that could fit the graphics card. Usually most motherboards will be okay. You need to make sure that your computer has the right power supply, meaning it can give the graphics card the amount of power it needs. And you want to make sure that the CPU, which is the brain of the computer, is not too old, so you're not bottlenecking your PC. Which means bottlenecking just means like one component is much stronger than the other, and the weaker link is slowing down the better component.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You want it matchy-matchy.
Kind of, yeah. You want one that can handle it. Like, my CPU is older. I don't want to say it's old, but it's older than my graphics card is. But they're running just fine. It's a great CPU. And it would probably be okay with the newer graphics card as well. But that's the annoying thing, is like you always kind of want to future-proof your PC, but it's so fucking expensive to do that. So, like, a new graphics card right now, if I wanted to get, like, one of the better to best, it would run me over $1,000. It's just so fucking expensive. And $1,000 is what you can spend on a single PC build. So
the latest graphic cards are 1,000?
there's a number of reasons why that's the case. So things are sold at MSRP, right? That's the going... MSRP is the base amount for what something should be sold at. This is like cars, right? You're never going to get a car to be the exact price it should be sold at. So let's say like the new Lexus blah 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 is $45,000 at MSRP. Rarely ever is a dealership going to sell it for $45,000. They're going to sell it at 50 or 60, maybe not that much higher, but that's what they'll sell it at because it's kind of going with supply and demand, right? I don't know why particularly some industries have such a huge amount of, I guess the inflation is a good word, worse than others. But PC components definitely fucking suffer from that. And, yeah, like the best graphics card right now is like way over the price it should be going for. And it's basically you're just getting ripped off. So the thing is like, if you want to fuck around and get a good new graphics card, you have to be prepared to kind of get ripped off. It's kind of the unfortunate thing. Yeah, it's really the unfortunate thing. Like, so when I first started working at this new job, I was noticing that the graphics card was failing on my editing PC. And I said, we have to replace this because it's just going to die one day. It sucks. And they said, okay, but my boss said, all right, if we're doing this, it needs this amount, this specific component. And in my case, it was like the types of video ports that sit on the back of it, because graphics card deals with that kind of stuff. And almost no graphics card held those video ports. It was stupid specific, and it was annoying, especially the amount of them that we needed. It was really, really stupid. I suggested a good graphics card, but because it didn't carry that, my boss said no. And we had to find another one, and it was a much weaker card. Much, much weaker video card. But it was literally 2 times the price of the stronger card. So, like, for some fucking reason, this is just how this industry is. There's random supply and demand issues with specific components, and you can get totally fucked over in different ways, and you're kind of always taking the gamble. Like, you can buy a graphics card one day, like the brand new card, that's the best, and then 2 months later, it'll be either at MSRP, the base rate, or less. And you're like, fuck! I just spent $400 more.
Yeah. I see the issue now.
Yeah. Yeah. What the?
What is that? Oh, so anyway, should I tell you about this book?
Yes. Do tell.
Okay. So I'm reading this book right now called Vicious by Vichy Swaz. Just kidding. By V.E. Schwab. It's about these 2 guys. One's named Victor and one's named Eli. They both go to this college. We're gonna assume it's like a pretty, I don't know if it's Ivy League, but it's a university. I don't know what the university is called, but let's just picture it as like a, I don't know, like a Harvard type or whatever. And I don't really know what they're studying, but they're taking. So Victor is, he's kind of broody. He gets like special privileges, and he doesn't even like this element, but because his parents are like famous authors of like self-help books, but he doesn't have like the greatest relationship with his parents. In fact, there's like really hardly any relationship at all, because they're the type of parents that like go on these press tours and stuff for their book launches and everything. And so they're the kind of parents that were just never even home to begin with. So Victor's got this like hatred of his parents' self-help books. And one of his hobbies is taking the books and like crossing out the words to create new sentences. To basically he enjoys vandalizing his parents' books in the wild. Now Eli's like, I think they're around the same age. They might be like 1 or 2 years apart. But Eli just kind of swoops in out of nowhere, and he becomes Victor's new roommate after he's been there for a couple of years. And immediately right off the bat, Victor notices Eli, like he basically, his impression of him is like he's super charismatic. Like everybody, he just has a way with people in that he's just a very influential, kind of persuasive individual, like very enigmatic. People just tend to be like gravitated towards him, or he just sort of like gets what he wants all the time. But Victor also notices that he's got like this, he sees an element in Eli that's underneath the surface. And he can't quite put his finger on it, but Victor's like, he's intrigued by it, he's kind of jealous of it. In fact, he's like, there's something that Eli has that Victor almost envies. But then also, he sees another layer of Eli's personality that he's hiding. Like, Victor thinks he's hiding something. And later, we come to find out that, like, his instinct is correct and all this stuff. So, anyway, the main where things start to take off is like Eli and Victor have to pick topics for their thesis, for their final assignment.
Okay.
Victor picks, I think, something boring. He picks the adrenal response, which is like, what your amygdala does when it sets off the alarm right before you go on a roller coaster. People with panic attacks have them. Like, that's the adrenal response. You get that rush of adrenaline. And then Eli decides to be over ambitious, and he chooses the thesis of extraordinary people. Now, in this universe, apparently extraordinary people are a sort of like mutants in the X-Men,
Okay.
but they're more covert in this universe. Some say they're even legend. People don't even believe in extraordinary people. But I'm not 100% sure that the general public knows that they exist or not. It's more of a covert thing. So, but I don't know how the general public kind of perceives them, but it seems like people are aware of them, but they don't know what they don't know. So, I don't know if it's like I don't know, it's almost like a UFO. Like, a bunch of people believe in UFOs, a bunch of people don't believe in UFOs. I don't fucking know. So, yeah, so Eli chooses extraordinary people to do his thesis on, and which intrigues Victor, and so they get to talking about it, and Victor sees like a spark behind Eli's eyes when Eli is talking about extraordinary people. Capital E, capital O, extraordinary.
Okay.
EOs for short is what they call them, so EOs.
Hold that thought, Curly. We got a cutscene.
Okay.
That's a lot of dead Nevrons.
Who did?
I don't see
I
any.
think they mean us.
They must be Jestrels. They're cute, but they're idiots.
Oh,
What?
Hey, we're not Nevrons!
Okay. Go ahead, girlie, you may continue.
Okay. So, Victor notices that Eli has like a really unusual passion for this particular topic. And he's like, I think I'm getting somewhere with this guy, right? Like, I've never seen him this excited about anything before. So, he kind of like wants to see where it can go, and so he kind of eggs Eli on with it, and it asks him more about it, kind of tries to draw some information from him. And Eli discloses some information about how people become, or how he thinks people become EOs, and it has something to do with near-death experiences. So his theory is that people are not born EOs, but they become EOs, and they become EOs through dying themselves and coming back to life.
Take cover.
So Victor, being the crazy bitch that he is, suggests that they should try it themselves.
Oh, your brother's back in chat.
Oh. Okay.
He says pair
What
of
is
tits, sex position 69.
Don't worry. We don't want to hurt you. Patel.
What?
Noko sent us.
Sorry, that's inappropriate.
Chris, we were asking you questions and there was
If you
crickets.
guide us to
Yeah,
your
what the
village,
hell, dude?
So now I'm talking. I'm talking about the book that I'm reading.
Guide us to your village, and maybe he'll make you something
Sorry,
better.
cutscene.
Wait, what are you?
Look, Chris, a paintbrush creature.
I hate liars.
You're better with gestures than humans.
They're less complicated.
So they want to become extraordinary.
Victor suggests. So as he's like, you know, he's finally getting somewhere with Eli. He sees that like fire in his eyes where he's like, that's the real fucking Eli right there. I'm gonna try to pull this out of him. But then when Victor suggests that they try to kill themselves and like come back to life, we also realize Victor's a crazy bitch too. So, because no one in their right mind would ever agree to do something like this. So they do. They come up with a plan. Victor was the first one to try. He's like, I'll do it, you know? And Eli's like, obviously he's scared, but at the same time, he's like, he wants to try it. And Victor knows that he wants to try it, but he's just playing the game, right? He's just pretending not to be. Anyways, they're like speaking two different languages. So Victor volunteers to be the first one to try it, and like worst case scenario, Victor fucking dies. Like it's the stakes. Both of these we realize very soon. Like okay, they're crazy to try this. So the plan was get some drugs, overdose on the drugs, and then revival by EpiPen. So the first attempt fails because Victor overdoses, but he doesn't actually die. He just gets rushed to the hospital, and he wakes up in the hospital room, and he didn't die. So it was a failed attempt. So then after that, like about a week later, they try it with Eli, but this time they do it by they drown him in the bathtub, and then he pulled him out, and then he revived him with the EpiPen. He used the EpiPen, I think. And we come to find out that it works. It works on Eli. Eli develops self-healing regeneration skills, or like that's his talent, or that's his like power.
Okay.
We don't really know. I don't know how they end up like getting the powers that they do. It could be related to their personality. It could be related to like the way that they died, or the time and place that they died. But it's interesting that Eli is able to heal himself like immediately. So that's his power. And so they now know that his theory was correct, and Victor is like, there's this sort of like envy that he has, that he's like, that son of a bitch gets anything that he wants, even the girl that I like, everything. And now he gets like a fucking superpower as well. No, fuck you. I'm dying. I'm getting my own goddamn superpower. And so, without Eli's permission, and without Eli's supervision or anything like that, he goes out of his own way to try to kill himself and revive himself so that he can also have a superpower of his own. And in doing so, he accidentally, he involves Eli's girlfriend and ends up accidentally electrocuting her, so she ends up dying. But the whole procedure actually worked. He did die and came back to life, and he developed a superpower as well. But his superpower is he is able to amplify and de-amplify pain. So he ended up like convincing her to take him to like the science lab, and they put him on a table, and like he asked her to electrocute him or whatever.
Okay.
And like she cranked up the voltage like bup, 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 and the pain was getting like unbearable. I think he eventually like his heart does end up stopping and then starts up again, but she ended up like getting electrocuted. Like the power was too strong. They fucked up, and then she died by accident. But that's really not super important. The important thing is that Victor got his superpower, and his superpower is pain amplification and de-amplification. Now Eli calls the cops on Victor because, well, we're gonna assume it's because he killed his girlfriend by accident.
Okay.
But so he gets arrested. But later we come to find out that like Eli doesn't really care that his girlfriend's dead. Like he's got other motives, we find out. Like he's got a plan. He's got a long plan. Well, we don't know what that is yet. And so fast forward, like Victor's in prison for like 10 years now at this point, because of Eli. And he breaks out of prison. He took him 10 years, but he did it, and he broke out with one other prisoner. His name is Mitch. Think like, who's the guy that who's that wrestler from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, Dave Bautista.
Yes, think Dave Bautista. Like, he's huge. He's just this huge fucking dude. So we've got Dave Bautista, Victor,
Well, that will help.
and then they run into this little girl named Sydney, who's she's kind of like a bit of a stray. Like they find her, she's got like bullet wounds, and she's like in a state, and so they kind of take her in and question her, and they know she has links to Eli as well. So now we've got this like really interesting threesome, and we find them. So okay, anyway, it gets kind of convoluted after this point. So we know that Sydney, she's like 12 years old. She's like 10 or 12 years old or something like that. Basically, her older sister got involved with Eli, and Eli basically told. So both the sisters are both EOs, and that's how Eli got involved. So they both ended up dying in this like freak like ice lake. Like they drowned in an ice lake, and then they got pulled out and resuscitated, and both of them ended up developing powers after that. The sister, I don't know what her powers are. She didn't actually show us yet. But Sydney, the little girl, she's able to bring people back from the dead.
Oh.
Like, she's able to alive the unalive, which is like an extremely remarkable power. Because it's, I don't know, it's just super impressive. Like, both Eli and Victor are like, whoa, like, that is a gift. And, but what ended up happening was Eli somehow has access to, like, he must have files on people or cases of near-death experiences in order to have even found Sydney's older sister to begin with. But anyways, like, he's got a whole list of, like, EOs in this general area. And so he worms his way into the older sister's life, and he gets the older sister to call the little sister Sydney to come and visit them. But Eli, for some reason, tries to kill Sydney and calls her a freak of nature, and that, like, it goes against, like, God's plan or God's divine will or whatever, and tries to unalive Sydney and literally shoots her, and but she runs away and she escapes. And that's when Victor and Mitch found her after she escaped that whole ordeal. So Victor's trying to find Eli. He knows they're close because of everything that they found. Things are really ramping up. And yeah, oh yeah, and I should just let you know, I probably should have included this, but, like, Eli is, like, weirdly religious. Like, he's just a Christian. So, and Victor always hated that about him the most. Like, he just couldn't deal with his, like, fucking, ideology, and sometimes he would, talk about it, and Victor would just, like, roll his fucking eyes, but yeah. So we're now thinking that because Victor attempted to kill Sydney because he believed she went against God's divine will, we're thinking Victor's trying to unalive all of these EOs.
What do you mean unalive?
Kill.
Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. Makes sense. It sounds right. Because they already fucking died once.
Oh. Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, they already died. So, yeah, so we at this point, like, at the halfway point, we think that Victor's motive is to just kill all these EOs because we think that maybe, for some reason, it has something to do with his belief in God. So now, Eli hasn't been in this story much at all. Like, he's been gone. But now this part 2 actually starts with Eli. So I'm ready to read.
Okay.
This next chapter. This part is called An Extraordinary Day. So I'm gonna assume that last half of the book all takes place in one day.
Wow.
So it says, this morning at Turnus College. Okay, I guess that's, like, the name of their college. Eli Ever sat in the back of the history seminar, tracing the wood grain of the desk and waiting for the lecture to end. The class was being taught in an auditorium at Turnus College, an exclusive private school half an hour or so outside Merritt city limits. Okay, this is a different college. This is a different college. This is the college where his fake girlfriend was going. 3 rows in front of him, and 2 spaces to the left, sat a girl with blue hair named Beth. It wasn't such a strange thing, the hair, but Eli happened to know that Beth only started dyeing it that color after it had all gone white. The white was the product of trauma, a trauma that had nearly killed her. Technically, it had, in fact, for 4.5 minutes. Oh, great. So he's finding another fucking victim. Yet here Beth was, alive and attentively taking notes on the Revolutionary War or the Spanish-American War or World War II. Eli wasn't even sure what the name of the course was, let alone which conflict the professor was currently teaching, while the blue strands fell around her face and trailed across her paper. Eli couldn't stand history. He figured it probably hadn't changed that much in the 10 years since he'd taken it. Just another one of Lockland University's many prerequisites, meant to round every student into a smooth little ball of knowledge. Lockland was the university. He stared at the ceiling, then at the spaces between the professor's half-cursive, half-print notes, then back at the blue hair, then at the clock. Class was nearly over. His pulse quickened as he pulled the slim dossier out of his satchel. The one Serena had put together for him. Serena is Sydney's older sister. It explained in painstaking detail the blue-haired girl's history, her accident, tragic, really, the sole survivor of a nasty crash, and her subsequent recovery. He brushed his fingertips over the photo of Beth, wondering where it had come from. He rather liked that hair. The clock ticked on, and Eli slid the dossier back into his bag and pushed a pair of thick-rimmed glasses up his nose. They were plain glass, not prescription, but he'd noticed the trend around the Turnus College campus and followed suit. Looking the part age-wise was never a problem, of course, but styles had changed, almost too fast for me to keep track. Oh, right, so another perk of Eli's power is he can't age anymore either. He
Damn.
stopped aging 10 years ago. So Victor is now, I think, 32. And so is Eli, but Eli looks 22. Beth could choose to stand out if she wanted, but Eli did everything in his power to blend in. The professor finished his lecture a few blessed minutes early and wished them all a good weekend. Chairs scraped, bags were hoisted. Eli rose and followed the blue hair out of the auditorium and down the hall, carried on a wave of students. When they reached the outer door, he held it open for her. She thanked him, tucked a cobalt strand behind her ear, and headed across the campus. Eli followed. As he walked, he felt for the place in his jacket where his gun would be. A product of habit, but the pocket was empty. The dossier had told him enough to make him wary of anything that might succumb to magnetism, so he'd left the weapon in his glove box. He'd have to do this the old-fashioned way, which was fine. He didn't often let himself indulge, but he couldn't deny that there was something simple and satisfying about using his hands. Turnus was a small school, one of those cozy private affairs made up of mismatched buildings and an abundance of tree-lined paths. Beth and he were both on one of the larger paths that bisected the campus, and there were enough students around to keep Eli's pursuit from seeming at all conspicuous. He crossed the campus at a safe distance, enjoying the morning, taking in the crisp spring air, the beauty of the late afternoon sky, and the first green leaves. One of them pulled loose from a tree and landed on the girl's blue hair, and Eli admired the way it made both colors seem brighter as he slipped his gloves on. When they were almost to the parking lot, Eli began to pick up his pace, closing the gap between them until he was within arm's reach. "Hey," he called behind her, feigning breathlessness. The girl slowed and turned to look at him, but kept walking. Soon he was beside her. "It's Beth, right?" "Yeah. You're in Philip's history section with me." "Only for the past 2 classes, but he'd been sure to catch your eyes both times." "Sure am," said Eli, flashing his best college kid grin. "I'm Nicholas." Eli had always liked the name Nicholas and Frederick and Peter. Those were the ones he found himself using the most. They were important names, the kind held by rulers, conquerors, kings. He and Beth passed through the parking lot, row after row of cars, the school shrinking into distance. "Sorry, can I ask you a favor?" asked Eli. "What's up?" Beth tucked the stray lock of hair behind her ear. "I don't know where my head was during class, but I missed the assignment. Did you write it down?" "Sure," she said as they reached her car. "Thanks," he said, biting his lip. "I guess there were better things to look at than the board." She giggled shyly as she stuffed a bag on the hood and unzipped it, digging around inside. "Anything's better than the board," she said, pulling out her notebook.
I can do it.
Beth had just turned to face him with the notes when his hand closed around her throat and he slammed her back into the side of the car. She gasped and he tightened his grip. She dropped the notebook and clawed at his face, raking the black metal glasses off, carving scratches across his skin. He felt blood trickle over his cheek but didn't bother wiping it away. The car behind her began to shake, the metal trying to bend, but she was too new to her power and the car was too heavy, and she was running out of air in fight. There had been a time when he spoke to the EOs, trying to impart to them the logic, the necessity of his actions, tried to make them understand before they died, that they were already dead, already ash, held together by something dark but feeble. But they didn't listen, and in the end his actions conveyed what his words had failed to. He'd made an exception for Serena's little sister, and look where that had gotten him. No, words were wasted on them all. So Eli pinned the girl against the car and waited patiently until the struggle slowed and weakened and stopped. He stood very, very still and relished the ensuing moment of quiet. It always came to him right here when the light, he'd say the life, but that wasn't right. It wasn't life, only something posing as life, went out of their eyes, a moment of peace, a measure of balance being restored to the world, the unnatural made natural. Then the moment passed, and he peeled his gloved fingers away from the girl's throat and watched her body slide down the warped metal of the car door and onto the concrete. Blue hair falling across her face. Eli crossed himself as the angry red scratches on his cheek knitted and healed, leaving only smooth, clear skin beneath the drying blood. He knelt to retrieve his prop glasses from the ground beside the body. His cell rang as he straightened them on his nose, and he fished the phone from his coat.
Let's push forward.
The hero line, how can I assist you now? Eli had expected Serena's slow laugh. The hero bit was an inside joke, but the voice on the other end was gravelly and most certainly male. Mr. Ever? Asked the man. Who's this? This is Officer Dane with the Merit PD. We got a call of robbery in progress at Tidings Well Bank at 5th and Harbor. Eli frowned. I have my own job, officer. Don't tell me the cops want me to do theirs too. And how did you get this number? It's not how we agreed to communicate. The girl, she gave it to me. Something exploded in the background, showering the line with static. It better be urgent. It is, said Officer Dane. The robber's an EO. Eli rubbed his forehead. Don't you have special tactics? Surely they teach you those somewhere. I can't exactly walk in and... The fact he's an EO isn't a problem, Mr. Ever.
I can't believe we crashed into this. Whatever this massive thing is. So much for Gerald's vaunted reinforced front plates. I can't believe we have to abandon the cars already. We're nowhere close to the Paintress. I'll definitely have a concussion. I could have sworn I saw some gestrels running out of that thing. Definitely hallucinating. Damn it, Hector. I told you to slow down!
Okay, you can continue. Sorry, those are just kind of, I guess, rare in this game to find the messages from previous expeditions.
The fact he's an EO isn't the problem, Mr. Ever. Then do tell me, said Eli through gritted teeth, what is? He's been identified as Barry Lynch. That is, he's supposed to be dead. A long pause. I'm on my way. Is that all? Not quite. He's making a scene, shouting for you specifically. Should we shoot him? Eli closed his eyes as he reached his car. No, don't kill him until I get there. Eli hung up. He opened the door and climbed in, hitting speed dial. A girl's voice answered, but he cut her off. We have a problem. Barry's back. I'm watching it on the news. I thought, yes, I killed him, Serena. He was very dead. Then how is he robbing a bank at 5th and Harbor? Eli snapped, gunning the car. How is he suddenly not dead? That's a good question. Who could possibly have resurrected Lynch? There was a long quiet on the other end of the phone before Serena answered. You told me you killed her. Eli gripped the wheel. I thought I did. He had hoped anyway. The way you killed Barry? I may have been more certain about Lynch than I was about Sydney. Barry was definitely, undeniably dead. You told me you followed her. You told me you finished. We'll talk about this later. I have to go kill Barry Lynch. Again. Serena let the phone slip through her fingers. It landed on the bed with a soft thud as she turned back to the hotel television, where the robbery coverage continued. Even though the action was happening within the bank, and the cameras were stuck on the street behind a thick border of yellow tape, the scene was causing quite a stir. After all, it had been in all the papers, the robbery last week at Smith and Lauder, the civilian hero who had come out of the firefight unscathed. The robber had come out in a body bag. No surprise that the public was disconcerted then to find the robber alive and well enough to rob another bank. His name ran a ticker tape fashion along the bottom of the screen, the bold lettered scrawl announcing Barry Lynch alive, Barry Lynch alive, Barry Lynch alive. And that meant Sydney was alive. Serena had no doubt that the strange and disquieting feat had somehow been her sister's work. She took a sip of too hot coffee and winced faintly when it burned her throat, but didn't stop. She clung to the fact that inanimate objects weren't subject to her power. They didn't have minds or feelings. She couldn't will the coffee not to burn her, couldn't will knives not to cut her. The people holding the things were hers, but not the things themselves. She took another sip, eyes wandering back to the television where a photo of the previously deceased EO now filled the right half of the screen. But why had Sydney done it? Eli had promised Serena that her sister was dead. She'd warned him not to lie, and he'd looked her in the eyes and told her that he'd shot Sydney. And that hadn't been a lie exactly, had it? She'd been standing right there when he pulled the trigger. Her jaw clenched. Eli was getting better at fighting back, finding little loopholes in her power. Redirections, omissions, evasions, delays. Not that she didn't appreciate the small defiance. She did. But the thought of Sydney alive and hurt and in the city made it hard to breathe. It was never supposed to go like this. Serena closed her eyes, and the field and the body in her sister's frightened face filled her vision. Sydney had done her best to look brave that day, but she couldn't hide the fear, not from Serena, who knew every line on her sister's face, who'd perched on the edge of her sister's bed so many nights, smoothing those lines one by one with her thumb in the dark. Serena should never have turned back, never called her sister's name. It had been a reflex, an echo of life before. She'd reminded herself over and over that the girl in the field wasn't her sister. Not really. Serena knew the girl who looked like Sydney wasn't Sydney, the same way she knew that she wasn't Serena. But it didn't seem to matter the moment right before Eli pulled the trigger. Sydney had looked small and frightened, and so very alive, and Serena had forgotten that she wasn't. Her eyes drifted open, only to settle on the still shortly headline, Barry Lynch alive, Barry Lynch alive, before she snapped the TV off. Eli said it best. He called EO's shadows, shaped like the people who made them, but gray inside. Serena felt it. From the moment she woke up in the hospital, she felt as if something colorful and bright and vital was missing. Eli went on to say it was her soul. He claimed he was different, and Serena let him think that because the only other option was to tell him otherwise, and then he'd believe it. But what if he was right? The thought of having lost her soul made Serena sad in a distant way. And the thought of poor small Sid all hollowed out made her ache and made it easier to believe Eli when he said it was mercy returning EOs to the earth. It had been harder when Sydney was standing in her doorway, flushed from the cold and blue eyes bright, like the light was still in them. Serena had faltered, tripped over the what-ifs whispering in her head as they trudged into the field. Sydney's sin, Eli claimed, was double. Not only was she an EO, unnatural and wrong, but she also possessed the power to corrupt others, to poison them by filling their bodies with something that looked like life but wasn't. Maybe that was what Serena had seen in Sydney's eyes, a false light she'd mistaken for her sister's life, her soul. Maybe. Whatever it was that made her pause, the fact was that Serena had faltered, and now her sister, the shadow in her shape, was alive and apparently here in the city. Serena pulled on her coat and went to look for Sydney. Okay. Okay, let's read about what's Victor doing really quick. There's only like 2 pages here.
Okay.
This morning at the Esquire Hotel. Oh yeah, the 3 of them have been staying at this hotel. Victor, Bitch, and Sydney. Victor savored the scalding water of the hotel shower. I'm like rooting for Victor now too, even though he's like bad shit too. They're both bad shit, but Eli's like the worst. I thought Victor was gonna be like the anti-hero, but I mean they're both bad. Victor savored the scalding water of the hotel shower as he rinsed the last of the grave dirt from his skin. Oh yeah, by the way, this Barry Lynch guy, They went grave digging. Eli killed Barry Lynch because Barry Lynch was an EO, right? Well, Victor found out that Eli killed Barry, so Victor went to the graveyard where Barry was buried, unburied him, and Sydney revived him so that he could answer some of their questions about why Eli had killed him, how Eli had killed him, and just, yeah. And so, but then, I think they, like, buried him alive again after that. Like, they were, I can't remember, but they basically were, like, threatening to, I don't know. Barry was confused, too, because he's like, why the fuck am I alive? And, anyway, so he's alive, yeah. Barry Lynch had been surprisingly receptive when he revisited the cemetery this morning. Victor had gone back just before dawn, scooped out the foot of dirt he'd put back on top of Lynch to make the grave look empty if anyone chanced to walk by, and pried the lid off to find Barry's terrified eyes staring up at him. Pain and fear are inextricable, a lesson that went back to Victor's studies at Lockland. But pain has multiple forms. Victor might not be able to physically hurt Barry Lynch, but that didn't mean he couldn't make him suffer. Barry, for his part, seemed to get the message. Victor had smiled and helped the once dead man out of his coffin, even though he hated the way the man's strangely nerveless skin felt against his own. And as he passed him the note and sent him on his way, Victor felt confident that Lynch would follow through. But just to be certain, he told him one last thing. He'd taken several steps back and then turned toward Barry and said it as an afterthought. Oh yeah, they told Barry to do something. And if he wouldn't do it, they were going to bury him alive.
Oh my god.
Which they did, but then he came back for him the next morning. Like, they weren't actually going to do that. They were like, we just need to threat him, make him scared. And then he'll do what we say. The girl, Sydney, the one who brought me back, she can change her mind at any point. Snap her fingers, drop you like a stone, or rather, like a corpse. Do you want to see? He asked, taking the phone from his pocket, and he began it out. Really quite a clever trick. Barry had paled and shaken his head, and Victor had sent him on his way. Hey, Bill! Mitch's voice reached him through the bathroom walls. Get out here. He snapped the shower water off. Victor! Mitch was shouting his name when he stepped into the hall a minute later, toweling off his hair. Sun was streaming in through the tall windows, and he winced at the brightness. Late morning, at least. His message should be well on its way. What is it? Asked Victor, at first worried, but then he saw Mitch's face, the broad, open smile. Whatever the man had done, he was proud of it. Sydney appeared with Dole close behind, his tail wagging lazily. Oh yeah, Dole is a dog that Sydney, brought home after it like got hit by a car, and she brought it back to life.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's like, can we keep him? And Victor's like, sure, why not? Come see this. Mitch gestured to the profiles spread out on the kitchen counter. Victor sighed. There were more than a dozen now, and most of them dead ends, he was sure. They couldn't seem to get the search matrix exact, though. He'd spent the previous evening and most of the night looking over the pages, wondering how Eli did it, if he followed every lead, or if he knew something Victor didn't, saw something Victor hadn't. Now, before his eyes, Mitch began turning papers face down, eliminating profile after profile from the mix, until only 3 were left. One was the blue-haired girl, and the second an older man he'd studied last night, but the third was new. It must have been freshly printed. This is Eli's current list of targets. Victor's cool eyes flicked up and began to shift his weights from foot to foot. His fingers tapped out a beat. How did you figure that out? It's a great story. Stand still and I'll tell you. Victor forced himself to stop moving. Go on, he said, scanning the names and faces. So I'm seeing this pattern, said Mitch. I keep ending up in police files. Merit police files. Oh yeah, this Mitch guy, he went to prison for hacking. So that's how he was able to, like, get all these records.
Oh.
So I think, what if the cops are already working on their own database, right? Maybe we could compare it with ours. You mentioned way back when that one cop knowing about EOs, or someone with the cops, and then I think, hey, maybe I can just borrow their data instead of going through all the hassle. I mean, it's nothing beyond my reach, but it takes time. But what if they've done some of the work for me? So I start browsing in Merit PD's Persons of Interest database, and something catches my eye. I used to love those puzzles growing up where they asked you to spot the difference. I rock that shit. Anyway. They're flagged, said Victor, eyes skimming the profiles. Mitch's posture fell. Man, you always ruin the punchline. But yeah, and I made it easy for you to see, he said as he pouted. I turned the pages down. Easy to see a pattern when it's all that's in front of you. What do you mean flagged? Asked Sydney, standing on her tiptoes to see the pages. Look, Victor said, gesturing to the profiles. What do all these people have in common? Sid squinted at the paper but shook her head. The middle names, said Victor. Sydney read them aloud. Elise, Ellington, Alyssa, they all have Eli in them. Exactly, said Mitch. They've been flagged specifically for our friend Eli, which means he's working with the cops. He's here in Merritt. Sydney stared down at the photo of the girl with the blue hair. How can you be sure? What if it's a coincidence? Mitch looked smug. Because I did my homework. I cross-checked the theory by pulling up some of their old profiles. Persons of interest, now deceased, all of which had conveniently found their way into the digital trash bin. Which is its own red flag, by the way, but I found matches to Eli's killings over the last 4 months. He dropped the Daddy-O folder on the table. Including your man, Barry Lynch, the one you just spent the night digging up. Victor had started to pace. It gets better, said Mitch. The flagged profiles were created by one of 2 cops. He tapped the top right corner of a page. Officer Frederick Dane or Detective Mark Stell. Victor's chest tightened. Stell. What were the odds? The man who'd had Victor arrested 10 years ago. The one who'd been on EO duty at the Lockland precinct. And the one who, when Victor recovered from his multiple gunshot wounds, personally escorted him to the isolation wing of Wrighton Penitentiary. Stell's involvement, along with Eli's testimony, was the reason Victor spent 5 years in solitary confinement. He wasn't declared an EO on the records, of course, only in extreme danger to himself and others, and it had taken him half a decade of deliberately not hurting anyone, at least not in a conscious or appreciable way, to get himself integrated. Are you listening? Asked Mitch. Victor nodded absently. The men flagging the profiles. They are or have been in direct contact with Eli. Exactly. Victor toasted the air with his water, his thoughts miles away. Bravo, Mitch. He turned to Sydney. You hungry? But Sydney didn't seem to be listening. She had taken up the folder with the Daddy-O's and was flipping through almost absently when she stopped. Victor looked over her shoulder and saw what she saw. Short blonde hair and water blue eyes stared up at her beside a cleanly printed name. Sydney Eleanor Clark. My middle name is Marion, she said quietly, and he thinks I'm dead. Victor stooped over and swiped the page. He folded the paper and tucked it inside his shirt pocket with a wink. Not for long, he said, tapping his watch. Not for long. Ooh.
What's he planning?
He's working with the police.
What the?
Yeah.
Am I lost in this game? I might be just a little bit lost. No, I'm not.
Oh wait, 2 more pages. This morning.
Oh my goodness.
Should I?
No, go do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. This morning, Tidingswell Bank. Eli parked a block and a half from the yellow tape of the crime scene barrier and repositioned the prop glasses on his nose before getting out.
Hold that thought, Terra Girl.
They sound like kids.
We must be getting close to the village.
Kinda looks the same as all the others.
Hey, don't get cocky, Maya. Look at its equipment. That looks a lot more dangerous than the others. No, seriously.
Okay, boss fight it is.
Okay.
Get ready.
He could see, as he wound his way behind the eyes of the crowd of morbid spectators and the gathering photographers, to the back of the bank. And the crime was no longer in progress. People lingered, lights flashed, with a relative quiet, sirenless, gunless, shoutless, told him enough. He stiffened when he saw Detective Stell, even though Serena promised it was safe. Still, the detective had come to Merritt a few months before to investigate a string of killings in the area. Eli's handiwork, of course, and even Serena's assurances couldn't entirely wipe away Eli's doubt regarding the detective's loyalty. Stell, who now had salt and pepper hair and a permanent crease between his eyes, met him behind the building and lifted the tape so he could pass. Eli pushed the progresses up his nose a second time, but they were a fraction too big. How Clark Kent of you, said Stell dryly. Eli was not in the mood. Or is he dead? The detective led the way into the bank. I told you I wanted him alive. Didn't have a choice. Started firing. Whatever you want to call it. Couldn't name worth a damn, like that power of his was on the fritz. Didn't stop him from making a mess, though. Civilians? No, he ordered all those out. They reached a black sheet cast over a vaguely human shape. Stell nudged it with his boot. Media wants to know why a madman who's supposed to be dead enters a bank with a weapon but doesn't try to rob it and doesn't take any prisoners. All he does is kick everyone out and fire at the air and scream for someone named Eli Ever. You should have never let that story run last week. Can't stop the press from using their eyes, Eli. You're the one who wanted to make a scene. Eli didn't like the man's tone. It had never liked it, never trusted the thread of combativeness that ran through it. I need a demonstration, Eli growled. He didn't want to admit that there was more to it than that he wanted an audience. It had been Serena's idea, he was sure, before it became his. A demonstration was one thing, said Stell. But did you need a spectacle? It covered up the murder, said Eli as he threw back the black sheet. How was I supposed to know he wouldn't stay dead? Barry Lynch's brown eyes gazed up at him, shallow and dead. He could hear the whispers from the other cops milling around, hushed voices, wondering who he was, what he was doing there. He tried to look official as he stared down at the dead man. You dragged me out here for nothing, he said under his breath. Now that he's dead. Forgive me, but he was dead before, remember? And besides, this time he left a note. Stell handed Eli a plastic bag. Inside was a crumpled piece of paper. He withdrew the paper and unfolded it gingerly. Oh, what does the note say? It was a stick figure drawing. Two people holding hands, a thin man in black and a girl. Half his height with short hair and wide eyes. The stick girl's head was cocked slightly and a small red spot marked her arm. 3 similar spots, no bigger than periods, dotted the stick man's chest. The stick man's mouth was nothing more than a faint grim line.
Get ready.
Beneath the drawing ran a single sentence. I made a friend. Victor. You okay? Eli blinked, felt the cop's hand on his arms. He slid free, folded the paper, and put it in his pocket before anyone could see or say otherwise. Get rid of the body, he said to Stell. Burn it this time. Eli went back the way he'd come. He didn't stop, not until he was safely in his car. In the relative privacy of the side street in Merritt, he pressed his hand against the drawing in his pocket. And a phantom pain started in his stomach. Victor
God
lifted
damn. I'm getting my ass kicked. God damn. Oh god.
Okay.
Victor lifted the knife from the table. Oh, this is a flashback. Victor lifted the knife from the table. You called the cops and you accused me of being an EO. I didn't rat you out. I didn't rat you out, you know. I could've. Why would you tell them something so silly? Did you know they have special people that come in there if there's an EO suspected? Some guy named Stell. Did you know that? You've lost it, Eli. Eli sidestep. Put the knife down. It's not like you can hurt me. Victor smiled down. He looked like someone else.
Game over.
Eli tried to step back, but the wall came up behind him. The knife buried itself in his stomach. He felt the tip scratch at the skin of his back. The pain had been sharp, persistent, dragging itself out instead of flashing forward and dissolving. You know what I figured out? Victor growled. Watching you in the street that night, picking the glass from your hand, you can't heal yourself until I take the knife out. He twisted it, and pain exploded behind Eli's eyes, a dozen colors. He groaned and began to slide down the wall, but Victor hoisted him up by the handle. I'm not even using my gift yet, Victor said. It's not as flashy as yours, but it's rather effective. Want to see? Eli swallowed hard and dialed Serena as he put the car in gear and headed for the hotel. He didn't wait for her to speak. We have a problem. Oh my god. Eli's scared. He's scared and he should be. I'm rooting for Victor, man. I'm rooting for Victor. Yeah.
This is an interesting book you've chosen, Terror Girl. Let's do a powerful. Nice.
Let's spill some ink.
So Eli convinced Serena that like EOs don't have souls.
Please survive.
Which we know that's not true. We know that's not true.
How much more of that book do you have to go?
That much.
Oh, nice. Ooh, I'm gonna use my overcharge. Maybe not.
Yeah. It was kind of slow to start. I wouldn't say slow, but like it kind of took me a while to get past it, but now it's picking up. Like now shit's going down. And there's a second book too. It's a duology.
Nice. Nice. Oh shit, I burned its arm. I took its arm out. I didn't know I could do that. Oh hell yeah. Let's do a Thunderfall. Probably not gonna do much.
For those who come after.
Let's spill some ink. Strike.
Yes. I did.
Congratulations.
Damn, Frere Jacques.
Flower shaka,
Oh, Jacques!
for maybe.
I'm getting much better at parrying.
Perfect.
An energy tint.
She even walks like a mime.
You're walking like a mime. Ma'am, you're walking like a mime.
Perfect.
30% increased damage on stunned targets. I don't really get a chance to stun that often. Fleur Jacques. It's actually getting kind of hot in this room. We're gonna have rain all damn week.
That's good, yes?
Well, I suppose you could say it is good for the water table and the sumps. Basically, the environment can never have maybe too much water. Actually, that is not true. It could have too much water. Actually, it could definitely have too much water. But, even though this is true, it is very good, especially in the spring, to have a good bit of water for our reservoir.
Well, that will help.
For in the summer, it gets much drier. And it is also good for the wildlife. Oui.
Très bien.
Let's see what's coming for us. I hope a cool ass cutscene. Oh. Let's go to camp and let's do some upgrading.
What is this area?
It's like the overworld.
Oh, okay. Do you know where you're going now? Like, do you have a...
I do, yeah. I do. Let's do some upgrading with our friend here.
The scarecrow.
The curate.
He looks like a weird... Oh. Never mind.
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, he kind of looks like Batman there, but not really. Not at all, actually.
Shit, you should have kept that to yourself.
No. I realized it was stupid. That's
No,
why I said no.
it's okay. I forgive you. Oh, Frère Jacques. Increased free aim damage. I don't need free aim. Plus 1 AP when stains are consumed. Generate a random stain on free aim shot. This says nothing like that. Increased fire damage. Now that we do end up using fire a lot, so let's actually do this one. Cool. She only has 2 weapons right now. So let's upgrade this one. Base attack applies 2 burn. Oh, so this is the one we... Nice. I mean, I could end up just using more of those, to be honest. I may as well. Alright, and now... Why does it back me out entirely? Alright, I thought I had a healing tint. Wait, we have a lot of Lumina points. I can literally just level these guys up. I mean, I guess. I'm going to not use too many of these in case somehow these are used somewhere else. But yeah, we're in the Gestral village right now, so they're going to help us out with getting to the Paintress. So, because I beat their ultimate weapon, they're like, oh, okay, wait, you're kind of cool. Wait a second, you're kind of cool. That's what they said to me.
They said that to you.
Mm-hmm. He writes about the crazy inventions that the Gestrals came up with and that they could learn some things from them. He hopes that one day his apprentice will read everything he wrote.
For those who come after.
That reminds me straight up of like something from Persona. Before we do that, let me just... That's our flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna upgrade our attributes. Interesting. I'm level 17, although I've upgraded my other things to 20. How is that possible? Interesting. What the hell was I actually upgrading there then? You have 4, do you? Heals 1 of 3 allies by 40 to 60 health. Consumes blink to also apply regen that heals on turn start for 3 turns. No. I'm gonna wait on her. Let's do a nice rest and return to the village. I like the music in this area. It's got like a weird, almost like Hispanic flair to it. Not this music. Not this stuff.
An advantage.
An advantage. Here we are. The Gestral Village. We made it. Hello, little friend. First time this life, I got revived at the Sacred River not too long ago. I'm only 7.1 hours old. That's interesting. Thank you, little one. Time to train. You should train too. I'm serious. You really need to train. What?
7.1 hours old.
What'd you say to me? Welcome to the Gessel Village. Expeditioners, eh? You're a fun-looking bunch. Unless you try to cross problems, then we'll beat you up. Which will be fun for me, but not for you. Noted. Me? I'm a nice brush. Doesn't mean I wouldn't go for a nice little brawl with you. It's going to be like this everywhere, huh?
It's really a village of Gestrels.
They seem better at surviving than humans.
I guess intelligence is not a prerequisite for survival on the continent. Now to find the chief's house. Probably the biggest one.
Well, I think I spotted it. You may come in. Thanks. What's going on? Oh, they're doing push-ups? Señor de Warriors, the master ultimate. Sacabante?
Wasn't that strong.
Oh.
Naru, porque tuve mi respecto. Mi cosuli? Gorogito bota? Poquito legomani? Dumba kaka extensiono.
Gulgra.
There are so many questions I'd love to ask.
We need to get to the Patris. Noko said you could help us cross the sea.
Humano, incorinco tempentres.
Others have passed through here.
Dumba kaka extensiono. Katumatumaro. Gorogito bota? Poquito legomani?
A white-haired man destroyed it.
Kurimoto priva. No respecto.
You know him.
Io sano villaggio. Huira foserito. Loco. Ok. Sano vivo bota. Huira foserito esque. Nima Cuba. Rico esque coraniso Yamawatero.
So SKA exists.
Kimotira. Esque ro potupoquiso. Kinikako warrior lito gaki. Ikokio pasguardito.
Why?
Esque tiraroto. Iko esque era un marifiso. Esque kimabano comigeri. Amigisa irresponsibile. Ibarico che me esque.
We already defeated your ultimate suck attack.
Di, ma, suvi, karatam! Rito te sakima regian del tournamento.
Tournament?
Per respecto. Aiko. Sano legendari warrior. Damzan. Herodura.
Wait a minute.
Chi sono i comigo di expedizione? Luki to me stranger. Puki, isu.
The stranger.
Dumba kaka expeditiono. Katumatumaro. Malito de warrior. Come kuwa. Tio sano villaggio. Huira foserito.
These guys just like fighting. Gastral Bazaar. We fought plenty of dangerous Nevrons. Have we fought the chromatic Nevrons? Yes, actually. If you two yearn for glorious battles, then seek out the chromatic Nevrons, hunt them all. I actually have fought them. And won. You alright? I shoot all my junk to get this. Professor Champ de Cuivre's chromatic legumes. These are miracle vegetable seeds from the city of Lumiere. Clair. The classic swindler's trick. With these, I'll become rich and finally own the bazaar, they'll say. Poor guy. That guy got tricked. That old brush over there won't trade with anyone. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe he's just a jerk. I can hear you. Where was that? Oh, is that him? Back off my junk. I won't sell you nothing. What do you mean? Will you or won't you sell me something? Means I'm calling the guards on you. Got it. Back it up now. The hell? What if I was willing to buy something? I want to trade your stuff for my stuff. Your stuff is worthless. You're worthless. Want to fight? No, I'll just stay here and look at your stuff. Okay, cool. What?
I'm 8 hours old. How old are you?
About 3 hours. When I was little, I swore I'd enter the arena as soon as I turned 30. My birthday was yesterday, and I'm so nervous. I started pulling all my bristles out. I'm too young to lose my bristles. You've got lovely bristles too, so you must understand my pain. Yeah, I do. Turn back. Why should I?
That's an enticing sign you got there.
Yeah. This is a sacred place. We saw this store before. Of course you have. These stores are all over the continent. What's the huge banner inside? What? You've been inside? Oh, so you've never been teleported to the ominous, perfectly maintained manor? It's never opened before, at least not for its gestuals. Wow. Oh. Oh, I do have water. Sweet. I'm so lucky that I have water.
Yeah. The manor. I do like the manor. What's the manor?
The manor is where we found Mael, but we've not been in the kitchen yet. This is kind of new.
They've got like a modern sink.
Yeah, what's that about? Wait,
The stove.
What
The stove
the-
is cool.
What the hell just happened there? I think they must have activated something else in the manor.
What?
I like twisted something and the whole ground rumbled. What the hell was that? Alright, whatever the hell that did. Oh. What
I thought that was like where you came from, but okay.
Me too.
You're locked in the manor. Couldn't get out. Couldn't get out of the manor.
Oh, Hoos is in the chat. Hi, Hoos.
Hi, who's it going?
Who's it coming, dude? Did you see my deer video? Who's loves posting the emotes? He's an emote man. My two favorite people. Hoos, you don't mean it. Hoos, you don't mean it.
Don't make me hoot.
Don't make her hoot.
Don't make me hoot. Hoots for who's.
Don't make me hoot, the hit book and movie. Yeah, this is
I feel like the only one I know that references that movie.
It's such a beautiful movie. Who sent two winky faces? What are you winking about?
Are you flirting with us?
Hoots. What? Come on, man.
Because if you are, that's cool.
That's good, I guess.
Who's rate this manor?
Wait, what's this? The frame is empty.
Well,
Why?
why?
But why?
Look at this gorgeous dining hall. And I love giant fireplaces like that.
Tara kind of lives in this world.
I do have
Oh.
an interest in manors, castles, large man-made buildings for living in.
Oh, interesting. So, depending on who you play as, the piano changes tune. Just give it a 4 for empty frames. I mean, it's harsh but fair.
Wait, is it a minus point for the emptiness or a plus point for the emptiness of said frames? Because some might say, you know,
What
too
might some
many,
say,
maybe
Tara?
too many portraits in the house, not enough portraits in the house. Sometimes an empty frame can be an art piece in itself. You know, art's subjective.
She makes a point, Who's. She makes a really good point. She makes a scary good point.
Foot!
Tara,
Did you
what?
see that foot?
Oh!
What's up with that foot?
I don't want to talk about it.
I do not be gone.
It's never done before, at least not for gestuals. Wow. Well, yeah, I can admit because I'm pretty freaking cool, I guess. Sorry to say, but, well, I guess I just got what it takes. Style, huh?
Rate these paintbrush people.
Yeah, what's the rating on these paintbrush people? Alex Cyclo says, what they meant to say is, what a fashionable ensemble! I have stylish pieces for sale. Very a la mode. Come take a peek. What the hell? No geekos in here?
What? I was wondering when you'd show up. It's about that time of night.
Well, I'd say it's just about time that Geeko would show up.
I was thinking, it's 10:30 p.m. Wonder when Geeko will be showing up here any second now, I bet.
Let's dance. Whoa!
Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
Sarah.
Let's dance.
Geeko
Put on
says,
your red shoes and dance the blues.
Geeko says, guys, I met her today. My future wife.
What?
Wow.
Where?
Geeko, is this true, dude?
Oh. I think the Gestrals are quite a peaceful people.
Geeko says, in the bus, dude.
In the bus? Wait, going home or what? When?
Dude, give us a little bit more information.
When and how and what's her name? How did you
Wow.
meet?
What an
Did you sit next to her? Did she sit next to you? Was she driving the bus?
Yeah, was she the bus driver? Geeko says she dropped her phone in front of me and I caught it. She dropped her phone in front of me and caught it midair, which is probably the most embarrassing moment of her week. Dude, that sounds cool as hell to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's like skill though. That's like hand-eye coordination.
That's like Spider-Man.
When I do that, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking. I should have played like. What's the? I was gonna say
Bocce
football.
ball.
We don't have a female football league.
That's not true.
I'm
What
good at
about-
catching balls.
What
catching
about, what about the
balls.
lingerie league?
Like, sure. I guess that's close enough. As close as I can get, I guess. Gotta take what I can get.
I'll take it. He says, it wasn't a super smooth grab, though. It was like super sloppy and her hair went everywhere. And let me guess, you were like, I saw that. He said, then she looked up at me, all romantic and shit, and then we laughed. All romantic and
True
shit.
story. Is this a true
Geeko,
story?
this is a fake ass story, dude.
How did she? So she dropped her phone on the bus, but like, was she sitting or was she like standing and walking to her seat, and that's why like she stumbled with it? And then she fell into your arms, and you guys looked deeply into each other's eyes.
Geeko says, and now I can't get out of my mind. It's true.
Was it a school bus? Did you get her number? Damn, you should've got her number.
Yeah, did you get her number, dude? Bus was about to enter the terminal, and we were waiting by the door.
Buses were what? Andrew?
Bus was about to enter the terminal, and we were waiting by the door. Geeko says, it was a common city bus.
Oh.
Geeko says, I didn't have time to get her number. I'll be taking the same bus tomorrow in hopes of seeing her again.
Aw.
Geeko, that was all in your imagination. She doesn't really exist, dude. I had this dream too, dude. Do you remember their number, their name? No, they got beat up and left pretty fast.
What about your Irish girl?
Geeko says stop. Yeah, what about that, Geeko? What about what was her name? Beguile?
Beguile.
That's what I imagine an Irish name sounds like.
That's an English word.
Yeah, and Ireland is a part of the United Kingdom, so. That woman has ruined me one too many times.
What? Why? What did she do?
Geeko, the fucking story unfolds, dude.
No, I want to hear about it. Actually, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Oh my gosh, what are these guys doing?
What's a fight?
I thought they were like dancing. Ugh. Put on your red shoes and dance the bullet. Sorry.
Kika says, enough about me. How are you two doing?
Oh.
Well, Tara was reading a wonderful book earlier about extraordinaries.
Extraordinary people. Yes, it's called Vicious by Vichyssoise. Oh, just kidding.
Vichyssoise.
Ishwa.
Kika, what's a delicious food that you've had recently? I built all this alone. I'm classy, I'm elegant, and yet they treat me like a monster. That's impressive. You're quite the hard worker. They will never understand. One day this place will be full of casinos and everyone will listen to jazz. I hope we'll be alive to see it open. This guy built like a casino?
Great.
We're good, Dogiko. Thanks for asking. It's getting rainy here in the northeast.
It rained a ton. Yesterday? Yesterday? Yeah.
Yesterday? Kesha Gambler. Do you like to gamble?
Yeah, we needed it so bad too. It always gets like so. After winter, there's always a slight drought because it doesn't rain for a while. And then sometimes, and then it floods because like once it starts raining every day. And then it kind of like gets kind of floody for a while. Like the grounds are not used to it.
Kiko says, it rained a ton today too. My umbrella is fucked! Ruined my outfit. Tara, help me out with this. Help me out with this math problem. He says,
Oh, Jesus.
let's say that every time I hit, I have a 50% chance of dealing 100% more damage. What are my chances of dealing more damage in the long run?
Let's say that every time I hit, I have a 50% chance of dealing 100% more damage. What are my chances of dealing more damage in the long run? Hit next, because this is not a complete problem. You would have... What are my chances of dealing more damage in the long run?
It would be this...
Higher.
Yeah. What are you, some kind of statistics nerd? Oh, so you were right the first
I feel like
time.
it would be higher.
Yeah, you were right. I'm gonna say I don't care. Correct. It doesn't matter because it just makes things more thrilling. A true gambler at heart. Here, take a sign of our eternal friendship. May your battles bring you lots of excitement. How did your outfit get ruined, Geeko?
Well, wait. No, I want to know what he was wearing. What were you wearing?
Okay, and what were you wearing? Sorry.
Because then... And if it was a good outfit, you know, if you're feeling confident, and then you met your future wife, like, that's a win.
He's wearing a fucking clown suit.
He said a clown suit.
No,
He got his clown suit out today?
He said it was ruined by water. He says, I only wear good outfits.
Oh, the good kind. Okay. Is Who still here?
I don't think so.
Or is Who's no more?
Who's he still out there? What?
Who's you still out there somewhere?
I say you still out there, who's?
An unbearable smell lurks away. What in the trifling ass stanky swamp ass paint swamp ass stank is this?
Geeko says all black except for my chessboard socks.
Oh, chessboard socks.
Wow, what is this?
Like
2007?
I used to have, yeah, checkers are like a thing now again. But I don't think that'll last very long. Like, checkers are very trendy, so they come and go very quickly.
Tara's like
But
a
I have-
stylist. She's a fashionista.
I'm just thinking about trends. Like, there are things that come and go, but then there are things that will always be timeless. Like jean jackets. Like, you can never. Jean jackets will always work. But let's see. I used to have a checker patterned. Remember wristbands? Like, wristbands were so popular when I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
In like 2006, 2007. And everyone would go to Spencer's Gifts, or Hot Topic, and they had all the wristbands. And I had a checkered one, and I would wear it every day to school. I thought I was like bold for doing that, because it didn't match any of my outfits. What a different time period that was. Low-rise jeans. Like, low-rise jeans only. That was fucking annoying. Growing up, I thought low-rise jeans were normal. Like, when high-waisted jeans came back... Okay, I'm doing air quotes, right? When high-waisted jeans came back, I thought those were weird. Turns out that was normal. That was more normal than low-rise. Anyway, sorry I'm being boring.
You're not being boring. I'm sorry. I'm super focused and also very tired. You're not being boring.
Ready to parry.
Oh. Geeko says, I don't care about trends. I've been wearing the same shit for years. And then says, bro doesn't have a single critical moment. Geeko, that's cool, dude. You're kind of fighting the system in that way. But Tara's kind of a trendy girl, and she kind of knows what's going on. And also, Tara picks out really, really interesting outfits that she has, like, really good style. She's kind of got, like, sometimes she's got, like, a goth thing going on. But she's not committing to the full...
tank top. I do have a tank top with a bat on it.
Yeah. Geeko says, I'll believe it.
I'm thinking of getting rid of that, though.
Why?
I feel like it's too young for me. Like, I don't know. I'm, like, outgrowing certain things. A lot of the stuff that I got from Doll's Kill, I'm, like, thinking about donating. Like that bat shirt. I mean, the bat shirt's, like, it's cute, but, like, I don't vibe with it anymore. I'm experimenting. I'm trying to... You know what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to thrift more. I'm trying to go to the thrift shops and finding, like, unique pieces at more affordable rates. But then there are some things where I simply cannot find. Like, I cannot find vests right now. Like, small... Just this really small... I don't know how to explain it. Like, they're vests, but they're small. Smaller than, like, the average size vest. So that I could layer it on top of, like, dress shirts and shit. Last weekend, I went thrifting, and I couldn't find a single one. So certain things like that I could find at like I could go to Urban Outfitters right now and they would have one. I know they would. Are you asleep?
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not. I was trying to process what you just said.
Oh. I was like, okay, so he's sorry, he was computing. Sorry.
Geeko says we don't have those cool stores over here. What do you have, Geeko? I think I called someone Geeko the other day, but like as an insult.
What?
Like Geeko.
Geeko. Geeko.
No, like Geeko as in like dweeb. Like, sup, Geeko? Geeko said why? Because
Oh, he was bullying someone.
he
That's
says, oh,
why.
as in geek. Yeah, dude. I was bullying. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just set people straight. The Marians.
Dweebazoid.
Incredible rings and relics of mysterious group of beings. I believe they're ones first
Dweebo.
referred as the Marians.
I should change my account to Dweebo.
Dweebo.
Mhm.
Terra Dweebo. Done my searching days. That's okay. Tell him, King. Tell those geeks. Yeah, you're right. They deserve it. Sup, Geeko? Bitch. Sorry. Too aggressive. Tara's looking at me with judging eyes.
What? No, I'm not.
Tara, are you biting your fingernails?
No.
Geeko said, "Whoa."
I'm not. Andrew overanalyzes my every movement.
Not sure. She was doing. Oh, I can't even show you because our cameras are off. But she
No,
was.
I'm just fucking with my lip.
She's fucking with her lip.
That's it. I'm not biting my nails. Thinks I'm biting my nails. I've never bit my nails growing up.
Geeko, you can't see it, but now she's picking her nose.
Your mic keeps cutting out, so I don't even know what you're saying sometimes.
I said you can't see it, but she's picking her nose now.
Oh.
Geeko says, "Why does it sound like you're not on Discord anymore, but rather in the same space?" Because we are. No, we're on Discord still.
No, I'm using my better computer this time.
Geeko, you must
We just have
understand.
to stream. We're just optimizing the stream now. We're getting better. Just kidding. We did nothing different. We are absolutely underachievers in the Twitch space, and that's okay.
I will achieve one day. Me and Tara are gonna open a studio.
For
Making cool ass videos.
of
Well, I don't know. Maybe doing something paranormal. Wouldn't you want to be a real paranormal investigator?
no, because I don't know if I believe what I used to believe.
What?
You know this. I've said this so many times now.
But if you could do your own investigation.
I would like to. Sure. Like just for fun. I think that would be fine. But also, I don't want to fall into like the bias of like, oh, I want something to happen, therefore, like, I'm gonna placebo myself into thinking that I heard something or I felt something. Because people who investigate, they want to find stuff, so they're immediately biased. But I don't know. I'm just thinking in terms of energy now versus. I just don't think that the universe works like that anymore. Like that, I don't think.
I don't either, but I like to.
I believe in souls, absolutely. Like that's what we all inherently are.
Tara, can I say something?
Yeah.
Doesn't this look like the Queen from Bug's Life?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's an interesting, like,
Yeah.
connection you made there, but yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kika, do you believe in ghosts? I haven't had this as paranormal investigator that I bought like 3 years ago, when I still believed. And had fun believing.
I still have fun believing. I mean, I don't believe, but I still have
everything that I
fun.
believe, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's it.
Okay. Kika, do you believe in ghosts?
Geeko says I don't believe in ghosts.
You don't believe in ghosts, okay.
Geeko, but why not?
Yeah, I want to hear your reasoning because I went from believing to being skeptical. Like I'm becoming more and more skeptical.
Me and Terry used to have a really nice thing where we'd watch Ghost Adventures and laugh and have fun together.
Well, Ghost Adventures isn't. I'm not. We watched Ghost Adventures for the fun of it. I never watched Ghost Adventures because I
Yeah.
actually believed them. Ghost Adventures is a fucking great show still. They're absolutely insane.
We don't watch it anymore.
I know, but that's because like Zach has. He's just a dick. Like, he's more, like, somehow more of a dick now than he's ever been.
But that's the fun part of it.
I know, but sometimes I can really only take him in doses.
Lead the way.
I miss the old crew.
Geeko says it's all bullshit and lies, I tell you. Dude, what's gotten you so worked up?
No, but seriously, like, I believe in energy. Here's my theory of what I think people's experiences of these like paranormal encounters where they see a person or whatever, I don't necessarily think that that person is still here in the physical or they can manifest like that. I think they're more so impressions of energy. Like I'm not discounting people's experiences because there are some seriously there's so much there's so many stories of like these paranormal encounters and stuff like that, but there's got to be something to it, right? I'm just thinking more so along the lines of energy where things I think, okay, sorry, I'm like so scatterbrained right now, but follow me through this little idea, right? Like, let's say, have you ever like walked into a room or a home where you could just feel that the energy was off? Like there's just something not right, and then you come to find out later that like there was a big argument or something like that, and that's why like the energy of a home or a space or something like that, something is just not right.
Geeko just says no, but continue.
Oh.
No,
Damn
continue.
it.
I'm with you on this. I'm with you.
I'm just thinking, like, you ever walk into,
Yes.
sometimes you walk into, like, a church or something. I'm not religious.
Yes.
I'm spiritual, but I'm not, I was raised, like, Roman Catholic. but I'm not. I'm not like religious in the Catholic sense. But you ever walk into a church and you feel like a vibration, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way. It's a weird like sixth sense. Or like say you walk into someone's home and you just kind of get a sense of how this person's life is like, you know, and it's not something that you can put into words. It's simply a feeling that you have. So it's energy. It's energy that's like flowing through you, and it's an inner knowing of stepping into someone else's life for a second. I think that homes and certain locations and places can, like, energy can be trapped in these places. Like, the energy that had come before was so potent and so vibratory and so intense that the actual, like, atoms of an entire place were altered, like, severely altered, so that 500 years in the future, we're walking into this hotbed of like weird vibratory energy. And that's why people feel things. And maybe even see things sometimes. I think that the seeing and the hearing are more so impressions in space and time versus seeing things right in the present. Am I making sense?
I think you're making sense. I definitely have those energy feelings that you get. I think I think Tara kind of a medium. She's also just kind of an empath.
I don't know. I think yeah, like these
You're
buzzwords that people like, I'm an empath. Like, shut the fuck up.
We did an interview the other day. We were filming a fucking podcast, and this lady who is totally conceited comes in, and she said, "Yeah, I'm kind of an empath." And she said that she was an empath probably 4 times in that podcast, and it was like, oh my god, shut up. Yeah, and as an empath, you know, I know how people are feeling. So, Geeko says, I'm afraid of no ghosts. And you know, Geeko, I'm an empath, so I kind of felt that in you, dude.
Damn. Let's invite Geeko on our ghost adventure, because
That would actually be brilliant.
He'll be the anchor.
So Geeko is the non-believer. I'm the believer for fun, and you're the believer in energies, but still like kind of a believer in a different way. So we're different levels of believer.
Yeah, I'm more of scientific. Like, I come from like more of science-based approach. Like, thinking in terms of like energy and frequencies and things like that.
Who will this new warrior be, Tara? This mysterious warrior.
Also, I read a book about quantum mechanics.
Wait, who's this?
Hello?
Who's this?
Are you not entertained?
An expeditioner?
What?
Wait, that's...
See him?
What? How? You guys? You're alive! I thought I was the only one left. I knew you were resourceful. How did you get here? They're expecting a bit of a show. Shall we?
Why are you dressed like French people? Because we are French people, Geeko.
Oui, oui. Oh god.
On God.
Oh god.
What? I couldn't block any
You
of
should
that.
dress like this, Geeko.
Yeah, Geeko.
Tomorrow.
Take
Okay, Geeko, I have a question for you. Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in UFOs? What's your stance on that? I haven't talked about UFOs in a while.
Oh boy. Oh. Geeko says, brother, I do. I have. Is that an... Oh, he says, I believe in extraterrestrial life, but not in UFOs. What? Explain your stance instantly.
Not in UFOs, though. I can see both sides, to be honest, because, like...
Yay, Mayo. Oh, wow. She's doing a whole thing.
Well... I don't know. The evidence for UFOs is extremely compelling. But there's a lot of bullshit out there. A lot. I'm telling you, like, 99% of the
Yeah, it really
people
just felt like
that
being
film
old.
UFOs, all of that is, like...
Am I one of those old people?
It's not the real thing.
Hey,
And now with
how'd you end
TikTok
up
and
here?
shit like that, ugh,
Oh,
so annoying.
after
Like
the
there's so
beach,
much
I ended up
fake
in an
shit
old
out
yellow
there.
forest, not too far from here. Had to dodge a few nevrons, but luckily I met a gestural who guided me here. What about you?
Even the government footage, you're like, yeah, that's not it.
Well, I woke up
Even the government video
next
that they
door.
disclosed.
We can talk later. Let's get back to Golden.
No time to lose.
Guys, can I make a prediction?
Please do.
And mark my words. I'm gonna go crazy here.
Go ahead.
But I think extraterrestrials are going to make contact within the next 2 years.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's... You're allowed to believe that.
Mark my words.
I'm gonna make
Remember
contact
this night,
with...
May 13th,
At 11:11 p.m.
at 11:11 p.m. Synchronicity. We will be contacted, and it will be obvious.
So Geeko
the
says two
general
things.
public.
Geeko says,
Within
one,
2 years.
I'm gonna talk to a ghost within 2 years, so that's a different story. Geeko says... Geeko says there's bad. Tara rolled her eyes at that. Geeko says
No, I
there's
didn't.
You did this. You went...
I didn't. You think I do things, I don't.
Geeko says there's bound to be life out there. Doesn't mean they have spaceships. And much less that they found their way here. Interesting. Geeko also says, Tara, that's crazy.
I know. But is it? I follow this dude named Daryl Anka. Oh, now you're really gonna... Now, this is gonna completely discredit everything I'm saying, because... Channeling is
be
like
ready
a
for
whole other
this.
thing where people are so skeptical on the channeling. I'm even skeptical on the channeling, but like... Daryl Anka's a channeler, and he's been doing it for like 40 years. And I don't know, man, like... The being that he channels is extremely compelling to listen to. And he does it all the time. Like, he does it several times a week and for hours at a time.
Take your shot.
He just, like... He talks about, just how to live our best human lives, basically, and helps us get past the bullshit that we impose on ourselves, and you know, stuff like that. But it's put a lot more eloquently than what I'm saying at the moment. But yeah, but he basically, this being that he channels goes by the name of Bashar, and Bashar basically has been. Well, never mind. Forget it.
No,
It's out there. It's
Giga
out
said
there.
this is Persona. It made me laugh.
What? Oh, this game.
What you're talking about? Oh,
What?
oh, what? I thought you were talking about what Taro's talking about.
No, this game looks like Persona.
It made me laugh that he was calling what you said Persona.
No, wait. Now I'm confused. Maybe he
Yeah.
doesn't mean what I was saying because Bashar is like Daryl's Persona. There would be a fucking Persona named Bashar in Persona.
Giga says if the shoe fits. That doesn't really confirm nor deny.
He's not answering our questions.
I saw your future.
Giga, what do you believe in that's out there? Are you a conspiracy theorist? Because I'm not. I do believe some conspiracies, but like not the big ones. None of the big ones.
What conspiracies do you believe, Tara?
I can't even think of any off the top of my head. So like none, I guess.
What the?
I'm just thinking like when people talk about conspiracies, they think about like the moon landing and flat Earth and all that shit. The general definition of conspiracy is just like different information. So there's so many like to conspirize is to like create a new story.
You know what I found out recently? That a certain type of bacteria is way more prevalent now because of a. So do you know like this is not so common if you're very cleanly, but do you know how sometimes your shower can get something called pink mold? It's literally like a pink goo style mold. It'll appear.
I do not know about pink mold. No.
I see it. I've cleaned my shower though, but I used to get it in one of my old showers. It's literally a pink mold. It's like a goo mold. It's not really a mold. It's a bacteria, and it's nasty. It's just a nasty bacteria. It can cause infections and stuff like that if you get it into your body. But what I found out, not a conspiracy, true factoid, you could read up on this, back in the 50s or 60s, the United States government had something called Operation Ocean Spray, and they dumped a bunch of fucking bacteria into like this California city's fucking water to see what would happen to what it would do to the general population. And apparently it did kill one person. But because they did it, the spread of the bacteria is far worse than it ever was before that point. So, yeah. That's a weird one. I read that the other day and I thought someone was just coming up with some crazy fucking fake thing like I do sometimes. And then I actually read up on it and was like, wait, what the fuck? This is real?
It's not it doesn't surprise me because like crazy shit like that's happened before. Like the Aaron Brockovich story. Or like Chernobyl or fucking Fukushima.
Oh, those aren't really conspiracies. But
No, I know, but I'm just saying like global disasters.
right.
Or like that's what I'm referring to.
I just find it weird how like there are some of these things that happen that are so like what the fuck? This was something that actually happened at one point that like because also So, okay, this is another one I want to confirm, because I also read this one the other day. There is specifically a tick-borne illness that didn't used to exist before a certain time. And I think it actually might be Lyme disease.
He's Googling something.
I am.
Golgra. He's kind of a buff paintbrush, isn't he? He's got a six.
That's a woman.
He's got a freaking six-pack.
That's a woman.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Come on. Can't you tell?
Andrew, I think you might be assuming their gender.
No. I know she's a woman.
Geeko, favorite Brazilian food? Go.
Holy shit. Alright, so this is kind of a, he says brigadiero. So this is a contested conspiracy, as in there are traces of Lyme disease like before this period, like they've been traced back, but it's a different strain of it. But I'll read just a little bit of this. I'm not going to go too deep into this. In the 1960s, on an 840-acre island at the entrance to the Long Island Sound, scientists at the highly guarded Plum Island Animal Disease Center were at the forefront of U.S. biological weapons research. Specifically, they sought to create pathogens that could be deployed stealthily via insects. That is fucking diabolical. Skip ahead to 1975, when the nearby town of Old Lyme, Connecticut became the epicenter of a strange tick-borne illness. Children began to report unusual skin rashes, chronic fatigue, and swollen knees. In 1981, the condition was named Lyme disease.
Damn, Discord's cutting you out so bad.
Fuck it then. So annoying. I really fucking hate Discord. Kiko, why don't you tell us what Brigadiero is while I just keep forwarding this game?
Is there nothing you can do about the cutting out? Like, why does it cut you out and not me out?
Because you have all that stuff turned off. Like, noise canceling. My brain is really starting to deteriorate. I'm like way too tired. Noise canceling. There's other stuff that I have turned on as well. It's really helpful, but it does this where it cuts me out. It's really annoying.
The password is get out of my way.
I know Kiko can hear, but I can't. What is that dish? How do you spell it?
Brig, B-R-I-G, Diero, D-E-I-R-O, D-E-I-R-O, Diero. Am I saying it right, Kiko? Brigadiero. It is made of condensed milk, cocoa powder, butter cooked to...
Brigadeiro. Is that how you say it?
Butter cooked to soft ball stage caramel with chocolate sprinkles covering the outside layer, making the surface non-sticky.
Ooh, that's like a truffle, right? It's a truffle.
Mm. He says that's the ball-shaped one. You don't have to shape into anything if you don't want to.
Oh, I can't look at this right now because I'm gonna want to eat one now.
As loud as
And there's chocolate in the fridge.
Thank you for everything.
Astral positivity is so heartwarming.
I've been eating so much fruit lately, like
Thanks, Chef.
so much fruit. I ate an entire thing of blueberries, 2 things of strawberries, and like 2 or 3 bananas in the past. Like,
Ooh,
week,
Tara, I can fight this thing. Should I try?
Try it. But you know what I've been doing
Okay, that'll be the boat.
is I've been eating the strawberries with chocolate ice cream. And only a little bit, like not a lot. But chocolate ice cream and strawberries. Oh! Oh, did she just drop
She
kick you?
one hit me.
Nima Kuba. Rico es que coran. Zam zam. Kurimoto Kiva. Perfect.
Say that again. He says cocada is also very good, or pretty good.
That'll be the boat. Ula Paterito este.
Cocada.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do this one.
Oh, cocada.
Rico es que coran.
Coconut, Brazilian coconut sweet. Oh. Is it like fried coconut or something?
Giga, what's the craziest thing that's going on in Brazil right now? That's just like, wow, you know, this is nuts to me.
A lot of people have been getting abducted by aliens in Brazil.
Tara, what are you saying right now?
Just kidding, I made that up. I made that up. That was my conspiracy of the night.
Tara, no fibbing. You can't fib.
Okay. Oh, okay. Colombian coconuts in jars. Look at the different. Oh.
Giga says, yeah, it's kind of like fried coconut.
I see it. Damn. I'm not a fan of coconut. Like, just like the actual shaved coconut. But I like coconut cream and like Thai food and things like that.
So Geeko's response to my question was, the government's retirement program has been stealing over 90 billion BRLs, which is, I guess, their currency, from the elderly. Wow.
Whoa. That feels really weird.
And this has been like an expose that's been ongoing. Is something being done about it, or is it like one of those open secrets?
And like, how are they even doing that?
Because yes.
Do they do it after they've died or what?
Geeko, you can't just say yes, dude.
We asked like 12 questions. Yep. Gigo, you've been streaming lately? When was the last time you streamed?
Geeko says the current government is for some reason trying to delay this investigation as much as they can. Interesting.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to give the money back to somebody. Maybe.
No, they're not just paying people's retirement and pocketing the money. They're just not paying people's retirement and pocketing the money, okay.
Oh. The people will speak. The people.
Kiko said, I've been trying to stream, but it is difficult.
With like your schedule. Wait, she doesn't have a baguette on her back.
No, she doesn't. You're right. That's because I'm the baguette carrier. Oh, we got... Oh, sweet. We got some new clothing items, and I'm gonna fight this.
Saka patate.
Find an expeditioner. Let's see, who does that go on?
Alright, Giko, what is your favorite?
Kiko says look up Brazil INS fraud for more information.
What is your favorite period in history to study? What do you find the most interesting? Oh my god.
No.
Get that thing off of him. He belongs in a... Oh. No. Put that on another person.
I wish I could. Kiko says to study, question mark?
Or just like, not to study, but just one that you find the most interesting. So like for me, I like really old history, like the dawn of civilization.
It's true, Geeka. Me and Tara keep falling asleep watching stuff.
Yeah. Like lately I've been making Andrew watch.
Not making.
documentaries.
I do it with her. I do it willingly.
No, you do it willingly, but like it is on my very specific request. Right now I've been wanting to watch documentaries on the Maya, Aztec, and Incan empires. I like watching things on empires, like how they came to be. And
Whoa, look at these two.
like, do you like Egypt? Do you like ancient Egypt? Do you like Chinese history? I've been trying to like learn more about Chinese history just because their history is, I don't know, it's fascinating. Or like stuff before even writing was a thing.
You're so interesting with that. Geeko says, I guess I was always a fan of the medieval ages, but then again, it got too complicated with the names.
Yeah. It's when like it gets past the year 1000 that things start getting really complicated, like societal structures and
I don't think so. I think once you see the building blocks, it starts kind of becoming like, oh, okay, I see. Like that's why ancient Greek is so interesting. Because that's like the beginning of it all, and that's like the beginning of like not the beginning of governments, but certainly the beginning of democracy, and yeah.
Yeah, but that's old, Andrew. That's like 1000 BC.
But it's written history.
Yeah, that's written. we're talking about medieval times. Like
A lot of that's written too.
yeah, but it's more complicated. Than Rome was simple. Like I actually found Rome to be quite simple to kind of understand and remember, like retain information.
I feel like Rome
Whereas
is
anything past 1000 AD, and especially past like 1500 AD, things get very complicated with the different countries and stuff like that.
I don't feel like healing people today. Guess they were all dead.
What is that thing? I just know.
He's a
I looked
doctor.
away and now I look. What is that? Gestural doctor.
That guy just gave me
On
his
his
whole
side?
story. Yeah, he is. Kiko says, turns out Brazilian history is pretty cool too, despite my not caring about it at all in high school.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anything about Brazilian history other than that y'all were, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh.
Teo, 52nd expedition.
When people come in from other countries and take over.
Shot broke my skull.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of friendly fight was that? Oh, I'm bleeding out.
Maybe not even take over, just like colonized.
He just keeps telling me about his bone problems. But I'm gonna die here, aren't I?
That guy died. How come when people die in here, they turn to stone?
Is that what happens?
Yeah, look.
Does everyone turn to stone? Like, not just humans?
Pretty sure, yeah. Kiko says, I guess every country is interesting in its own way. Wrong.
Huh.
Some countries are boring as shit. Name one thing about Uzbekistan. Go ahead. Kiko says Kiko says objectively true.
Welcome to the arena.
I think I'm done with this area. I could leave now. I can leave now?
Geeko, I think you should dress like that guy in the middle. Gabriel, what's his name?
Gustav.
Gustav. I think you should dress like Gustav tomorrow on the bus. Go see.
Gustav says, reading about the history of Uzbekistan on Wikipedia right now. Anything interesting? I doubt it.
Uzbekistan, that's like near Turkey. Yes?
I think you might be right, yes. I don't get what her skills are, but whatever.
She was just another member of the expedition. Is that who this is?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people were on the expedition, do we know?
No, I don't think we do. Geeko says there's so many interesting things you're missing out. Damn, dude, he's giving me Uzbekistan history FOMO.
Damn, wait.
What? Now I want to know. Geeko says your prejudice blinds you to the wonders of this world.
Oh my god. That's so powerful. I think my cat is like fucking shit up out there. What's she doing?
Oh no, punch her.
What's she doing? Hold on.
A storm is coming.
The Silk Road, bro. Ever heard of it? You're talking about... That's where they sell drugs, dude. Kika, I'm wait. Don't tell Tara. I'm so tired right now. Don't tell Tara. Please, whatever you do, don't tell Tara. I'm so tired right now. I'm like struggling to stay awake. My man says, go to bed, King. I'm going too soon, don't you worry. But Tara's counting on me right now. Geeko says, I worry, brother. What are you worrying about, dude? If you could see me right now, you'd see me, like, dozing. Oh, here.
Like, tried getting into this, like, treat container, and she nearly succeeded. She got the thing open, but she couldn't get her head in the hole, and so she was just trying to fucking...
Aww.
She got it open, though. She, like, that thing latched, too. She opened it. When I found her, it was open, and she had her head in it. I'm like, what is that noise? And I think I heard her actually open the damn thing. I'm actually kind of impressed.
Goddamn.
Noko's quite obsessed with your art.
But I just gave her some kids. Like, there was a pile of throw up next to her litter box. And she was trying to eat the treats. And I'm like, do you not see? Like, you're just gorging and throwing up and gorging and throwing. Like, you can't be doing that. You can't eat till you can't eat no more. Throw up and then do it all over again. Like,
Losing an arm is quite a lemon.
I don't know.
Geeko says,
She doesn't seem to mind. She doesn't seem to mind, like, getting sick every day. Like...
Geeko says I'm gonna go now, but Geeko also says, damn, Lune's cute. She is kind of pretty, ain't she?
Loon. Is it Lune?
Oh, it's probably Loon.
Oh, Loon.
I still can't believe it.
Well, bye,
I
Geeko.
lost
Thanks for
hope after a
joining.
while, but you all survived.
Let us know how it goes with your
What's your plan?
future wife.
Yeah.
Gestural champion until you gamage.
Well, it was a lot of fun, so yeah, maybe.
We should polygraph it. Here.
Yeah, I'm gonna let whatever cutscene happens here play off. Where's Mal? Where's my little sis? What are you doing over here, Mal?
Maybe you should stay.
What?
It's safer in the village.
You missed the chance to meet Eski, eh? No way.
Maya,
I'm okay. We stick together.
maybe you should.
What?
It's safer.
Oops.
Maya,
I'm okay.
What? You the one who's supposed to watch over the Lost Kestrel kids? Is it obvious? Yeah, it's me. You've done a very poor job. Kiko says good night. Wait, your expeditioners. Yes. Perfect. You like killing stuff, exploring the world, and then dying, right? Well, I need your help. You've heard of the Lost Kestrels, right? The Kestrels who disappeared after the fracture? The ones that the searchers are searching for? Well, when the searchers find one... God, I'm so tired. I watch over them until someone from the village comes to pick them up. But 9 of these mischievous imps ran away from me. Well, until you brought one back. Where could they be now? They could be anywhere. I really want to become a searcher, but they'll never let me be one if I lose more gestures than I find. If you see them, tell them to come back here. They'll listen to you. They like humans. For every gesture you find, I shall reward you the most precious of treasures. What? No, who would trick someone like that? Good. New outfit unlock. Oh, we got our first second hairstyle for Mael.
Andrew,
What?
I'm like worried you're falling asleep and running into like walls.
Well, I do that, but I'm gonna let this last cutscene play out. I'm gonna write in my book. Check up on the others.
you okay? You've been quiet since we left the village.
Yeah, sorry. Just bad memories.
Wanna talk about it?
No.
No.
I'm glad you're here.
I would never abandon a member of Aquafarm 3.
Aquafarm 3.
Aquafarm 3.
That was so long ago. You and Sophie were inseparable on that project.
Yeah, we were.
That was a good project. It fed so many neighborhoods at once. Kind of nostalgic thinking back. We really thought we were making a difference.
Hey, we're still making a difference.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant little moment. I suppose. Alright. I'm writing my journal and then I'm wrapping up.
Alright.
He writes about Kestrels. He knows he's happy. He knows how happy his apprentices will be to learn that they exist. He hopes that one day his apprentice will read everything he wrote.
For those who come after,
Alright. I think that settles it for the night. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ow, my quad.
Oh my god.
Let me quit. Alright. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining Geeko Hoos and all the others.
And that one guy that came in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That guy. Well, good night.